If your GPA is not where you want it to be, I need you to hear this before you talk yourself out of applying. A low GPA does not automatically disqualify you from a top business school. I have seen students with a 2.0 out of 4.0 get into programs that reject students with a 3.8. And I'm going to tell you exactly how they did it. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Caitlin, an Oxford MBA and admissions consultant. I've helped hundreds of students get into all the top business schools around the world. And many of them walked through the door with a GPA that they were embarrassed about. So today, I'm going to give you the honest strategic playbook for what to actually do when your transcript isn't working in your favor. We're going to cover three things: how to prove your quant ability outside of your GPA, how to build what I call your affinity score for your target schools, and how to make your professional story so compelling the admissions committees can't ignore it. Let's get into it. First, I want to reframe how you're thinking about this. Admissions committees are not sitting there with a GPA cutoff printed on the wall. What they're doing is trying to build a class. And when they look at your application, they're asking themselves two central questions. Is this person going to succeed here? And is this person going to contribute something meaningful to our community? Your GPA is one data point. It tells them something about your academic history, but it does not tell them the whole story. Your job is to fill in the rest of that story so that your GPA becomes a footnote, not a headline. And there are many ways that you can do that. In this video, we're going to go through three. The number one reason why admissions committees will get nervous about a low GPA is they are worried that you won't be able to handle the quantitative rigor of the program. So your first job is to take that concern completely off the table. So the first way you could do that is you can achieve a very high GMAT or GRE score, especially on the quantitative side. If you're wondering what counts as high, just go to the class profile pages of the MBA programs that you're interested in applying to and look at their average GMAT or GRE scores, and then look at the quant and the verbal. Oftentimes, they will break them down like that. Your goal would be to achieve a score that is higher than their class average. Another way that you can prove that you are capable of handling the academic rigor of the programs you want to apply to is by completing a program that was designed specifically to prepare people for the MBA program. So there are several of these out there. Harvard Core is one, MBA Math is another, and those programs are broadly recognized by all the top universities that have the best MBA programs. And if you do complete these kinds of programs, it will not only show that you are capable of handling the courses you'll see in the MBA program, but it will also show them that you are really committed to doing everything you possibly can to prepare yourself for a very demanding MBA program. And finally, you could take community college courses. Don't underestimate this one. If you take a calculus, statistics, or accounting course at your local community college and you earn an A, that is a recent data point that the admissions committees can look at that counters your academic record. Admissions committees will see that and they will respect it when it's done intentionally and explained well. In fact, I am proof that the community college avenue works. I have a Bachelor of Arts in Technical Communication, so I didn't have to take quantitative courses in my degree to graduate. So when it came time to apply to top MBA programs, I knew they'd question whether I'd be able to handle the quantitative courses that I would see in the MBA. So I enrolled myself in community college courses that were focused on mathematics. I took college algebra, pre-calculus, and calculus 1 for scientists and engineers, not the business calculus, to prove to them that I can handle the statistics, the accounting, the finance, the microeconomics, the technology and operations courses that I would see as part of my MBA program. And it worked. Just to be perfectly clear, it worked because I got A's in all of those courses. The key across all of these options is you need to do more than just complete the course and get your A. You need to reference them in your application, through your essays, in your resume, and if you have the opportunity, in your interview. You're not just checking a box, you are telling a story about someone who identified a gap and then took direct action to close it. That is exactly the kind of self-awareness and drive that admissions committees want to see. This is something that most applicants completely overlook, and one of the highest leverage things you can do when you are trying to overcome a lower GPA. Your Affinity Score is my way of describing how much genuine demonstrated interest you have shown in a specific school. Admissions committees notice when an applicant has done the work to really understand their school and the program. They also notice when an applicant is just applying everywhere with a copy and paste application. The reason that this matters is because one of the things that the admissions committees are looking for when they're reviewing applications is your likelihood of saying yes to an offer if they make it. This is the primary reason why you'll see 3.8, 3.9 GPAs get rejected and lower GPAs get accepted, because they know that those very high GPAs are probably going to be attractive to other business schools as well. So they'll take a lower GPA more seriously if that person has done the work to prove that they really have researched the school and the program. So here's what building your Affinity Score looks like in practice. First, you need to register for and attend at least 2 of the virtual sessions that school offers. Now, make sure those sessions are different. You don't want to attend one general information session and then a month or 2 later attend the same exact kind of session. That's not going to do any real good for you. You have to make sure that you are varying it so they see that you're being intentional with how you're engaging with them. Another way you can build your score is by reaching out to current students. Now, on the websites, you'll find the little chat box that is with student ambassadors. So try to reach out to those people and talk to them about the program and the professors and all the options that are there for them. Then you should go to LinkedIn and reach out to alumni and have conversations with those people. Another way you build your score is by doing a campus visit, if at all possible. Now, if you live near the school, you absolutely should make time to make that happen, because in the applications, there will be sections that ask you how you've engaged with the school, and you'll have the opportunity to showcase all these different ways that you have connected with them. And when you write your why this school essay, because almost every school has one, you'll be able to reference specific conversations, faculty members, courses, student clubs, and initiatives that are unique to that program and apply to you specifically. That level of specificity shows the admissions committees that you didn't just Google their school. You actually want to be there. When you have a lower GPA, you need your application to communicate enthusiasm and fit, so that committees have no question that you belong there. The Affinity Score is how you do that. This is a big one, and this is where I see students leave the most on the table. Your professional story is your biggest asset for MBA programs. Not your GPA that happened many years ago, not the GMAT or the GRE, which is a standardized test. It is your professional story. And admissions committees at top business schools are looking for people who have already demonstrated that they have the potential to lead. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means that you need to be able to point to specific moments where you drove something forward in your career, where you influenced a team, a decision, a project, or an outcome. Here's what I want you to think about. In your current or most recent role, ask yourself this question: what changed because I was there? Did a process improve? Did a client relationship deepen? Did a project succeed in a way that it might not have without your contribution? Did you take on a responsibility outside of your job description? Did you mentor someone? Did you solve a problem that no one asked you to solve? Those are your stories, and your job is to articulate them clearly, specifically, and compellingly in your essays, resume, and interviews. When an admissions committee reads your application and thinks, this person is going places regardless of where they go to school, that is the moment your GPA stops mattering. Your job is to create that moment. So let's recap. If you have a low GPA and you want to get into a top business school program, here is your 3-part playbook. Number 1, you need to prove that you can handle the academic rigor of the courses you'll see in the MBA program. So you can do this by getting a very high GMAT GRE score, or by completing a pre-MBA program such as MBA Math, or by taking community college courses that are highly quantitative in nature and getting an A. Make sure you address your GPA in your application by highlighting the things you've done to offset it. Number 2, build your affinity score. So that means you need to show up, engage, and do your research so the admissions committees know that you definitely want to be at their university. And number 3 is work on your professional experience. Make it so clear that you are a leader, the admissions committees can't miss it. Your GPA is just part of the story. It's not the whole story, and you get to decide how the rest of it is told. If you want more support with this, then I can offer you my free Affinity Score guide, where you'll see all the specific ways that you can build your Affinity Score. I can also offer you my profile scorecard, which will help you identify other ways of building your competitiveness. If this video was helpful, then consider subscribing. I post weekly content on business school admissions, and I'd love to have you here. Thanks so much for spending time with me today, and I'll see you in the next video.